Alright, so my last video got taken down. It was the video about the Mr. Beast trans situation, and apparently it got taken down for violence and hate speech or something. Oh, inciting violence and hatred, which, if you got that from that video, like, there's no reasoning with you. There's no reasoning with YouTube, obviously. I appealed it, and they rejected it within, like, 5 minutes, so I'm just going to leave that subject alone because the reality is I don't care either way. I'll put it to you this way. If 95% of the population wants to be trans and gay, that just leaves more girls for me. So believe me, I don't care. The whole point of the video was that I feel a lot of these people are being manipulated and coerced in a lot of ways, in a lot of very subtle ways that they don't notice. And I was kind of trying to point that out, hoping that they would start thinking a little differently and maybe, seeing things from other angles. But you know what? I don't care. Like I said, it doesn't make a difference to me. My advice is, if you can afford to homeschool your kids, do that. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I couldn't tell you how to raise them. But in this society, it looks like a very tricky thing to do. So, I don't know. I really don't know. That's why I'm grateful I don't have kids, to be totally honest. But yeah, so one of the main benefits, though, from that last video was I picked up a ton of Patreons. So the reason a lot of people decided to go on my Patreon is because I have a video on Patreon by one of the people who is very high up in the organization that really does control the world. And so he was selected by the rest of the organization to go on a website and answer any questions that anyone asked, and he answers them with 100% truth. So he literally explains who controls the world and why. And it's a little hard to believe because it's just almost outlandish. But if you pay attention to him and you research what he's saying, you'll realize that he's right. And I tell you what, when I looked into it, because at first when I was hearing it, I was like, I don't, this is outlandish, this is insane. But it was ringing true to me in a lot of ways. And so I decided to look into it, and I looked into it a lot. Not so much, let me tell you something. Don't look into it so much to where you're just out there in la la land. You know what I mean? There's people who, they take this whole conspiracy thing too far, in my opinion. But there is, and here's the thing, don't even believe him. Just like, oh, this is 100% truth. Look, take what resonates with you. Pay close attention to what he's saying. On my Patreon, I'm gonna do a reaction to each part. There's 13 parts, so that's coming up real soon. I'm gonna just go through each part and explain, because I've done a lot of research into this, and I still find it hard to believe, even though I believe it. So that's coming up on Patreon, because it's hard to understand what he's saying a lot of times, because it's a robotic voice. This guy, he's anonymous. He's not just like, here's my full name and here's my address and here's my family and all this. He doesn't go into any of that. I mean, he answers the questions that are asked. But and there are people out there who have tried to figure out who he is, and some claim that they have figured it out. But the truth is, to me, it doesn't matter. The information is what matters. I don't care who he is, but I do believe what he's saying. And his information has led me to a lot of other really important information that I never would have found before. And I'm gonna put it all on Patreon, because it's important. It's very important information. So I'm really grateful for the new Patreons. Y'all upped that site quite a bit for me. So I'm gonna start focusing a lot harder on it. I'm still gonna do YouTube because I understand that everyone doesn't have $5 a month to spend. But my YouTube is going to be focused more on trying to help people with their mental health and all that, because I've been through so much in my life that I believe that I can help y'all see things in a better way, in a healthier way. But my Patreon is going to be focused on a lot of the very deep information that I have found on, you know, maybe eventually, once my Patreon gets up enough, I'll open up a cheaper tier so everyone can have access to it. But as of right now, I need to keep it at 5 because I need the income. But believe me, if I had, you know, if I had a lot of money, I'd be doing all this for free anyway. So, because I don't believe that things happen just by coincidence. I don't think there's any such thing as a coincidence. I believe this information, which I've been searching for my whole life, has in a way found me, because up until very recently I didn't have access to a lot of this information, and it all, once I found one thing, and it was a weird way the way I found it, like I said, it almost found me. So I do believe that I can get this information out to a lot more people, and I do believe that it'll help a lot of people, and I'll explain as much of it as possible on YouTube. But on Patreon, I'm gonna go deep with it. So, and I'll show you, you know, because in the videos, it's a very robotic voice. It's hard to understand what he's saying, but I've not only watched these videos many times because I wanted to look into a lot of these things, I've also read the transcripts of it. So, and I've also gone into other parts of it that I'll explain in the reaction. So I'm gonna start working on that on Patreon, and also the next video on my YouTube will probably be the tour of my truck, and I'll show y'all how to live out of a car. But the next thing I'm doing on Patreon is I'm gonna go through all those videos from the guy who allegedly is very high up in the organization that controls the world. And I'll go through all that with y'all on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, get on my Patreon. It's $5 a month. I understand that everyone doesn't have that kind of money. You know, I can't put it all on YouTube either, to be honest, because it's I don't know. I don't want to be. Maybe in the future I'll be able to take more risks on YouTube, but I don't want to lose the channel. I'm just getting started with this thing, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to just keep my. I'm still going to speak my mind. Trust me on that. I'm just going to have to be a little more careful from here on out, because I don't know. If it was inciting hatred or violence, that's not my intention. I really wish YouTube would have pointed out the part that they felt that way about, so I could review it and be like, you know, is that inciting violence or hatred? Like, I don't know. I don't know what part of the video they're referring to. So they didn't do that. They just said the whole, you know, they didn't show me the part that they're talking about, which is really annoying to me. But whatever, look, I mean, they never learn, bro. Like Twitter, look what happened to Twitter. YouTube, I have a feeling it's heading in the same direction. Rumble is recruiting a lot of very popular creators. They just picked up DJ Academics. It's like, what is YouTube thinking, bro? Look, whatever. I got Patreon as a backup, so whatever, dude. I'm probably going to start uploading on Rumble too, because it seems like a lot of people are going there. Another really good one is Odyssey, which pays you in cryptocurrency. I'm probably going to start uploading there too. So once I start doing that, it's going to be the same stuff I'm putting on YouTube. I'm just going to be putting it on alternative platforms too, because this was a wake-up call, where they're accusing me of violence and hate speech on that video, then they can accuse me of anything on any video. So I'm going to start being a lot more cognizant, and I'm really going to have to start working a lot harder, because I'm going to be uploading on like 4 different platforms at the same time. So whatever, everything happens for a reason. I'm grateful for it when all's said and done, because I would have never started even uploading on other platforms, but now I'm gonna. So anyways, yeah. And all the subs that I lost, it's like, you know, it's not like I was benefiting from that video anyway. I lost like, I don't know, 50 subs off it, which has never happened to me before. So look, whatever, dude. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm good with it. Anyways, thanks for the people who do support me. Thanks for the subs, the likes, the comments, even the negative comments. I do appreciate you. And I want all the smoke, bro. We can argue. I'm good. You know, we don't gotta hate each other. We can fight online. It's like, I ain't got no problem with that. We can argue. I may seem like I'm angry arguing in the comments. Trust me, I'm not. 9 times out of 10, I'm chuckling to myself at the shit that I'm saying. I get a kick out of myself. But so, thanks for the subs, likes, comments, even negative comments. I appreciate you. I try to respond as much as I can. I do like to argue. I do like to see other people's point of view and all that, even if I don't agree with it at all. My problem is that a lot of the people are so close-minded that I feel like it's pointless. Like, what's the point in arguing with someone when they literally don't even understand what you're saying? They hear what they want to hear. They read what they assume you're going to say. So it doesn't even matter what you say, because they already have this assumption in their head of who you are and what you're going to say, and that's what they respond to. So I'm like, it's pointless. It's like arguing with a brick wall. So I don't mind it, except that it's a waste of time and energy. There's no payoff in the end. Like, either of us are going to learn anything, and I'm open for it. If you can prove me wrong, if I'm wrong, let me know. I want to know. But so yeah, and thanks for the tips, Venmo, Cashapp, PayPal. I really appreciate y'all, and thanks for the Patreon support. I really appreciate y'all, especially the ones who've been there since the beginning. I really appreciate y'all, man. And hopefully one day when I start making t-shirts or something, maybe I can get some free stuff to my Patreons who have been supporting me from day one. I really appreciate y'all. Anyways, I guess that's it for this video. I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna upload the Mr. Beast trans situation onto Patreon. I'm gonna watch it again, and if there's anything in there inciting violence or hatred, I'll take it out myself, because the last thing I want to do is cause someone to get physically injured over, you know, what, at the end of the day, it's their choice, it's their business, it's no one else's. I don't want these people to be hated or attacked. What I really want is for them to be helped. To be totally honest, like, I feel like they're being taken advantage of in a lot of ways, and it's wrong, but it ain't my business. So I'll put the video up on Patreon. I'm going to watch it again and see if there's anything in there that's really going to hurt people's feelings, you know, or, you know, I'm okay with hurting feelings a little bit, but what I don't want to do is make someone feel so bad about themselves that, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that. That's not my intention at all. That's the opposite of my intention. I want people to be happy and healthy mentally and physically, and I want the world to be a better place, and that's the truth. So anyways, I'll see y'all on the next one, which is probably going to be a tour of my truck that I live in, and I'll show y'all how I have electricity and running water and all that in a little Honda CRV. So yeah, I'll see y'all in a couple days, and yeah, I guess that's it. See y'all later.